Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Lucid, and we have another turn here with Bogarus. And it's an exciting turn because we have last turn pushed Atlantis into a desperate situation. However, they were dirty 4 or 5v1ers, and yeah, they have it coming. So we are happy to pay back retribution. But I will say they've played really well. They have made a lot of decisions that I think were really good, and then they've made some that are understandable. You know why they made the wrong decision, but I think it was the wrong decision. Doing this fight against me, as we saw without their god, is kind of. There's almost no way it can go well, and the problem, though, is that they need their god to defend their other front with TNG. So in some ways, they're kind of getting pulled in two directions and not able to do a proper job in either direction. But without further ado, let's get to the battle, because it did indeed happen. They did attack us. All right, boys. Yeah, that was a beatdown. So we'll look at it one more time. I'll talk a little bit this time. There's some things that I didn't expect here. Like, this was new. These guys map moved 2 from the capital or somewhere. I don't even know where they came from, because I don't think they were in that province last turn. Maybe they were inside the fort. This must be like one last turn of recruitment he did before I sieged it. That's actually the only thing that makes sense. So these help because they basically worked as lance catchers. And the other thing that happened is this group got out in front and broke up my formation. And the net effect of this was, he scripted it better than I could in my test game. Ended up getting about twice as many kills. And a lot of that had to do with these guys lance catching and the other guys breaking up the formation. So now look at right here. This is where like almost all my losses are going to come from. These guys get surrounded and then they just start dying off like crazy. And then this flank we crush, but then these guys kind of waste their time running to the back. But you can see it's pretty brutal. And the words of power are just merciless. Absolutely merciless. If we look at the final battle report, it was we lost 18 units. In terms of gold lost, it's a bit more than you might think, because these are 40 a pop. So that is, I'll call it about 200 gold of Malia Drusinas. And probably a bit more than that. 6 times 4 is 24 if I recall. So yeah, 240 gold. And then we lost, I don't know, we'll call it 80 gold to these guys. So I don't know, we lost about 320, but he lost everything he put in the mercs, which was easily like 600 plus. Everything died, like even the stuff that retreated, because in our next battle we cut off the retreat route with our little squad of cripples. A few, I don't know the politically correct term to call Bakemono, goblins. A few goblins and some cripples. Cripples is probably not politically correct either. Afflicted? I don't know. They have afflictions. Some of them are diseased, some of them are scared, some of them have chest wounds. All of them are not in peak physical performance. We've killed the commander now, and so they start running. Unfortunately, our Bakemono have also decided this battle is not exactly a great idea. I don't think they get off, though. I think these other guys are going to beat them off, or we're going to kill them. Yep. So the net effect of that is even the few guys who retreated here are dead. There's some weird little gimmicky things. If you look at the battle again, this thought one didn't actually do anything. He sat there and did luck, but he only cast luck on the commanders, and he buffed himself up. He didn't do anything. He would have been better off just doing smite. The problem with this guy buffing, because I think he has all 3 researched or something. The problem with him buffing is, for him to buff well, you want these guys on hold and attack, but you don't want to be hold and attack when I've got, 8 eparchs and 1 prophet, and then a bunch of crossbows shooting them. So it's not going to counterbalance the few luck casts that you get, I don't think, because the vast majority of the army will get HP routed, and then the few guys who are lucky will run away while we kill them. So, I mean, but that wouldn't have changed materially the outcome of this. But it's important to note he lost his prophet this turn, and he lost this holy 3. So he's going to have no more holy 3s, which is going to be nice for future little combats. And we have a battle inside the fort. Yeah, sorry, that battle wasn't quite as long. But yeah, we took it. We didn't lose anything. I was thinking there might be a Holy 3 in here, but of course he would have brought it outside. So, yeah. Yeah, they just got wrecked. We had some events. We got 120 gold in Bogarus. Very nice. We lost 10 income. Not so nice. And we gained about 6 gems, which is very nice. So those are much appreciated. It pays me back for some of the interest I had to pay people for the the gems we traded, and I forgot to send them on time. And importantly, we got a hero. We got a Bogatyr, and they are pretty special. They don't look very good. They look like, okay, just another commander that, not important. Just like the other commander you have that's 120 gold or something. Because, inspirational +1, 120 leadership, great, no. I mean, they're holy too, which the other guys aren't, which, fine, that's nice. What makes these special, though, is the Hero's Blade. And these are 3 times damage versus larger. Now, they're a little finicky. They have high defense, much, significantly higher than normal. They have okay protection. They're like a Malia Druzina. So they're pretty thick. And they have more than normal HP. However, they're not like exactly thug material. What they are is if we can buff these guys up, these guys are like super combatant killers. Throw in a little bit of strength bonus items. He's got a lot of miscellaneous slots, by the way, so we could probably put a lot of miscellaneous items on him. And then send him out. We get Earthmite on him, which is only Alt 1. And all of a sudden the strength is going to jump up 4. This will become a 27 damage weapon. And then when you multiply the damage by 3, it's going to become 81, I think, damage, thereabouts. And yeah, so that's going to do a shit ton of damage to a worm, because the worm's like, oh, we cast Iron Skin. We have 21 protection. It's like, all right, great. We'll take 81 and we'll subtract 21 from it. So that's, 60 damage. Now, when he gets Temper Flesh, that will get cut down to 30, but that's still just ridiculous. And he's got a very high attack score. And then plus he has a lance and a hoof. So this guy's very scary against monsters. Very scary. We get... we're going to make for him... We're actually... First turn, we're going to use this Steel Ovens. We're going to make a Rabbit Foot Charm just to get Twist Fate on him. It's going to make him a little less likely to die. He's got, good defense and good protection. It's going to make him more likely to not run into combat and immediately die. So that's kind of the goal. But he's going to be moving out with some troops here. And he's going to drop these troops off. And then probably go out on his own to rendezvous with an army. But yeah, all of this now means Atlantis is really screwed. So Atlantis sat in their fort this turn. They didn't move the worm out. And TNC and I were talking, what could be the cause? Why wouldn't they have moved the worm out? And I think the reason is he's waiting for a research target. I think he's researching up to Alt 4. And so far, he's done all the smart things. So I think he's also probably trying to trade for a Ring of Regen and a Flying Shield, which are both Construction 4 items. He might also, instead of getting a Flying Shield, do an Amulet of Anti-Magic. And he may also, if I get enough crossbows over here, which I don't really have yet, he may also try to do like an Arrowfend amulet or something, right? But a Ring of Regen, I think, will be a pretty important part of it. So having a way to deal with the god is going to be important. Because the god in Friendly Dominion, will be 200-something HP. With 20% regen, it's going to be like 40 a turn. It's a lot. It's a whole lot. Now, we have a plan. The plan involves cursing him with Spirit Curse. And then then smiting him. And he should basically be permanently paralyzed while we pound on him. We could still potentially lose if we get a lot of bad fear checks. And I'm not totally sure that we'll overwhelm him from a damage department. If he has those items. And he may have just traded for them and they may just be coming in. The other thing, if he gets the Ring of Regen, if he gets the Dancing Shield, which I think the Dancing Shield is the better call above all the other ones I talked about, like the Arrowfend and because there's not really enough crossbows. And TNC has really scary Sacreds. That are going to hit really hard with that Lance. So I think that's the primary thing to worry about. So Dancing Shield, Ring of Regen, and if he gets Alt 4, which is going to unlock for him, I don't think he's going to have any astral access, so it's not going to give him Body Ethereal, which would be phenomenal. I think what it will give him, though, is it's going to give him Liquid Body. And Liquid Body, on top of everything else, it's like, okay, well, now he's way harder to kill. Like, if you're like, okay, before, we just have to get past 20 protection and 20 HP regen a turn. Ring of Regen. Okay, well, now we have to double the regen threshold we have to get past. We have to get past 40 regen a turn. All right, Flying Shield is effectively going to block, for most people, not for my hero, but for most people, it's going to block half the damage. Right, so that's effectively, compared to the old thing, you now need to get past 80 regen a turn. Right? Throw in Temper Flesh, and now you have to effectively get past 160 regen a turn. And now you can say, okay, well, how are we going to do 160 a turn damage to him? And you'd be right, it's pretty goddamn hard. Pretty goddamn hard. So we'll just have to see how it goes. We'll have to see how it goes. If I can get on top of his fort and get the Dominion down, none of that's going to matter. If I can't, we're going to be in a bit of trouble. So, we'll see. The thing is he probably isn't very close to that research target. He probably has. So if we look at it, A level 2 is 200, and that puts you at level 3. And he's at alt 3 and maybe a little bit of change. To get to alt 4, I think it's 400-ish. No, it could be fake news. And he probably has, because I think he lost a few of the casters. He's got his god and maybe like 8 casters or 8 mages. And they're the shitty ones. They're these guys. They're these guys. So they're 9 research a turn, and I think he's neutral magic. Yeah, he's neutral magic. So they're 9 research a turn. So he's got 90 research a turn and his god, which would put him up at like 120 a turn. So I don't. He could have it, but the thing is, last turn the mages were mobilized. This past turn they researched. He probably still has at least 200 research, is my guess, to alt 4. So I actually don't even think he's going to roll out yet. And I don't even think he's going to roll out next turn. I think he's going to sit there and try to hit that research target. In the meanwhile, we can kind of have a critical mass of crossbows, where the crossbows are one way to get, that damage threshold where we need it. And, the other way is... the other way is we're going to Spirit Curse him, and then he'll stack up afflictions, which will be nice. So we'll see. I'm a little cautious about how this goes. I also don't know how he's going to use his mercenaries, because he got another mercenary band in his capital, the Black Fists, which makes sense. This totally is what he should be doing, because he's got a lot of gold and no way to spend it. He can't build forts. He's maxing out recruitment, but we've cut off most of his resources. He no longer has income from this lake, but he's still able to trace income from all of these provinces, and I don't know if he got these or not, but, he would be able to get those too. So, totally the right call getting the mercs. He'll probably, maybe he raids this or something with the mercs. I could PD dump it, or I could move a bit of cav. Probably not a horrible idea. I mean, for me, there's not much threat. If he goes here, it's not like he opens up more raiding stuff, but it would be one more thing I have to think about. And what did he get? The Black Fists? I can't even remember what these are. They might be crossbows. Let me pause and check. Okay, so, yeah, it's Maceman. Kind of weird. I'm not sure. I thought we killed Maceman here. Maybe we didn't. Yeah, we did. I guess there's another mace. I guess there were 2 Maceman mercs. So, I mean, the Macemen are not scary, and they can't really protect the flank. The problem is if he raids with both of these guys, like the Maceman, I think we just let him take this if he wants to have it for a turn. It's not a big deal for us. The problem with me trying to defend it, I could move a cav stack here, but either the worm would kill the cav stack, or the Maceman plus the army would kill a cav stack. So the only way it's really a win is if he raids with only the Maceman, and I'd rather just doom stack at this point. We're also, because we're a little worried about the worm, how we're going... I'm not worried. We have to figure out... We have to make sure we kill him without having too tragic a losses, but... and we have a few options, right? So we're not having all our eggs in one basket. We're going to have the hero coming. He may or may not get there by the time we fight the worm. We're making an Astropalagist, and we already have Evocation 2 researched. We started off the game with that. He can do Lightning Bolt, and once we have Alt 1, he can do Aim and then Lightning Bolt. And then on Advance and Cast Spells, he should cast it a fair amount. The worm is probably going to do Iron Skin, and he's going to have a big, whopping -5 resistance. And if this guy casts it every couple turns and smacks him with the Lightning Bolt, that would be just dandy. Because it'll have a chance to stun him, so the incoming damage will increase. And it's probably going to be, 20 damage or something every time it hits? And I don't think it's going to be too bothered by Temper Flesh or stuff like that. Yeah, so... that will be pretty good, to have that dude present. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. If he gets alt 4 and he gets all the items, we could be in a bit of trouble. But that puts us in a bit of a weird situation because we really want to get on top of his cap before that happens. In addition, we want to start preaching it down before that happens. So we really are kind of actually a little bit on the clock, which I don't love. You know, so I don't know. I'm going to have to figure it out. The other thing, and this is probably one of the more important things for the turn, is I was talking, as I have been every turn, basically with T and Chi, and they were saying they want the cap. And because I was telling them I'm about ready to take it. Because we've got a big-ass army. We've got a ton of eparchs. We're ready to kill the god. I've got the god, the god-cursing mage ready with gems. Like, we're ready to go. He's going to talk with his buddy. He's cool with us having it, but he wants to talk with his buddy. I am not ready to, go to war over it, and I don't even honestly particularly want to... I think if we bumped, I would win if I wait for this reinforcement army. It's like I could bump him for it, but honestly, I see T and Chi as a strategic long-term partner, and that is because we will both border Arco, and so if we want to, we can both squeeze him from the north and the south, and that could be kind of debilitating for him. In fact, that could be a good move. However, having Arco in the game is a bit of this is the thing when every time there's a good player in the game, is it provides some cover for you to not be coalitioned. So there's value in having Arco alive and bordering him and having a strong neighbor that I can attack him with, in that if that is our role to keep Arco in check, that means we have a positive value to every other player on the board. And so it will make diplomacy a lot easier. If we kill Arco and then we're really big, well, okay, we've killed the guy who's probably going to win the game. So it means he's probably not going to win the game. But it puts a big hairy target back on our backs. Which, if we split him together, might not be as big of a deal. Because, hey, we split him, we're both position 1 and 2, it's not really clear who's bigger, and we're in a long-term peace with each other, so good luck trying to get us to fight each other, right? It's better for us if we just kick everybody else out of the game and then we've got a 50% chance of winning, which is pretty good. I'll take a 50% chance of winning a game. So, anyway, that's all stuff in the future, but it does impact the present because I don't want to get my panties in a wad about him wanting the cap. Now, he has said that he's going to be reasonable about it, and he's okay with us having it, especially if we can take it easier, faster. And I'm okay with him having it, this worm potentially can be way more trouble than it's worth. And kill, if it stack wipes you, it's not exactly worth the cap. I mean, in the long term, it'll be worth the capital, but it's kind of not worth it because your screenshot's going to get sent out of your cap of your stack getting wiped. That's not good. It means your diplomacy's probably about to go south. It's going to free up some upkeep, I guess, as a silver lining. But, if that happens to him, fine, right? I would rather it happen to him than to me. I don't think it will happen to me, but it's hard to know. I mean, let's fire up a test game. Let's see how it does. All right, I finally got it set up. I have no idea how this is going to go. I think we actually will probably lose this as I sit here and ponder on it. We had a weird event happen where Bogarus' god got shrunk. But that's going to probably be made up for by the fact that it's in 10 Dominion. Whereas in his capital, it's probably not 10. Did we curse him? We did. And the god, I put this on him and the shield. Yeah, that's not good. I'm gonna see. Our guys kind of got distracted. I'm gonna try him on holding attack closest, see if that helps. All right, let's see how this works. I don't think we can kill the god with all this stuff. This is a lot. Like this stuff, when you get this on the god, it's actually really scary. Yeah, plus 45, look at that. And these halberdiers fuck up my calf. My crossbowmen didn't really walk forward like I wanted them to. Yeah, that is the way to script it, is Atlantis. Now, there's a lot of... Like, this is worst case scenario. I mean, I don't have... I also would have more stuff in my army, but maybe not quite as many... I think this is how many crossbows we'll have once they combine. But it's worst case scenario because it assumes he has Alt 4, which we don't think he has yet. And he's able to get both of these items. But I think we need to approach his capital with caution. And it may be I need to wait until I have this other dude present, my hero kill or my worm killer, and I can kit him out as such. I think the way to kit him is to do like gift of flight on him and to get all these buffs on it. Like maybe I need Alt 3 or something. But I mean, there's going to be plenty of ways to kill him. The other thing we could test, and I don't think it will matter, but we'll test it, is how much of a difference does it make if we have an astropalagist doing lightning. I don't think it will matter much. But all that said, you know, there's a lot of, like, the PD was breaking the lance charges, then the god fought, and then he was backed up by the halberdiers, and he was in really high dominion. In our game, things are a bit different. In our game, it's if he fights me this coming turn, it's almost certainly he's not going to have it this turn, right? And I think he's going to need to sit there and research. If he fights me this turn, he'll do it here, which is 5 candles for him, so he'll get a bit of a bonus, but he also has Never Healing Wound. So he's not going to have nearly as much HP. I'm going to get PD, not him. Yeah, and we're going to have all the Bakemono here. I think it will be fine. But there's a chance that I need to wait for a few mages to come out of here. Like an Astropalagist or 2 on Advanced Cast will probably deal with him. But, you know, we probably only want 2 because he can do like a Storm Spool or something, or a Ring of Tamed Lightning. We can also get some of these guys to do like Strength of Giants on my dudes, especially on the Bakemono can help a lot. And then just getting my hero with, and these are like really basic things, but you know, we need some research to make them happen. Just getting this hero with the right buffs on him and ideally some strength boosters, we'll be able to cut him to pieces. So, especially if we get, which we'll be running to real soon, or which we'll have, it's enchantment 3, so we'll have it soon in a couple turns. Gift of Flight, because that will allow him to really get up nice and close to the god. But we might need a few more, or even different miscellaneous boosters on him. But yeah, you can see we do need to respect the worm. And that also gives you a sense of why I was spending a lot of time wondering and worrying about where the worm was. Not that I can't kill it alone. Well, let's actually see what happens. I'm going to load that test game up again, and we'll do it just that worm alone. Okay, so we're back. I got this with the worm attacking into me, and this actually, he's coming from really high dominion, so he's got a ton of strength. I mean, a ton of built up HP, but he's in the right dominion now. And this actually is going to be reasonably close to the kind of HP he's going to have with Never Healing Wound. So it is a bit easier than he'll be in the real game if he attacks me by himself. But like here, he's got Cursed. The lances are pretty ruthless. We've got Profuse Bleeding on him. He's afflicted now. Now he's got Never Healing Wound. Okay, he's routing, so he's going to get hit every turn. He's pretty stable at 60 HP, though. 37. Yeah, when the crossbows get in, that tips the threshold. So, I feel pretty confident we can kill him if he attacks us, but as you saw, attacking him plus the PD plus these dudes on his capital, probably something we got to be pretty careful about. I'm probably going to need mage support. Or I have to get on top of it before he gets those items, before he gets all whatever. So, let's see if there's anything left to talk about. I think we're basically done with this episode. Yeah, 26 crossbow here, and then I think like 14 here. So, yeah, we'll be right at 40 crossbows. Plus some archers. I mean, the archers aren't going to do shit, really, but... yeah, feeling okay about this. And I mean, we're at the point now, even if he wins, like, a fight, I don't think it's going to be, like, super damaging. I don't think it will be super damaging. Maybe this guy's on advancing cast. What will he cast? Does he have decay? Hand of Dust. It's not very good. Starfires isn't bad. I think this armor negating damage. I think this will go after him. I think this will target him. Though it's usually pretty unreliable. Okay. But I think that's it. The elves were going to attack Patala. I don't think that's going to happen now. Or I don't know. I was just talking with Maryland. And, yeah. He was talking about how Atlantis was asking them for help. I mean, Atlantis is boned now. They've probably been asking these guys for help. I'm kind of cool. I mean, I'm honestly more cool than I thought I was, especially after all that testing. If TNG wants to take it. If he does want to take it, let me talk a little bit, because I don't think I went over it. How I'll negotiate. First of all, I would probably pay like $1,000 to take it. Pay itself back pretty quick. It's a good payoff for these guys. It lets them get another fort. If he doesn't want to do that, then I would probably say, you know, I want this province and 1,000 payoff or something. Like I'd want something and a payoff. Or maybe I would have to be symmetrical. So maybe I'd say, well, I want the payoff then. But maybe I'd say, okay, well, give me one of the underwater too. Which the underwater is actually useful for me because I can cast some national spells to summon stuff there. But yeah. Anywho, that's going to be something you'll find out next turn. How the negotiations go for Atlantis's cap. Whether Atlantis is able to recruit anybody to attack me. Specifically, you know, Arco may show up here. You you know, if Arco does, I think I can talk TNG into helping me with him. But we'll see. We'll see. The other thing that I can maybe do, and this would be this would be a dick move. This would piss me off if somebody else did it to me. And I kind of don't approve of it. But I might... Where's Marilyn's cap? Marilyn's cap is right here. Caleb's cap is here. Somewhere over here. Where's Caleb's cap? Here. Marilyn's cap is here. I forget who's over... Wait, this is TNG. Okay, there's nobody in between them, I don't think. Wait, 1, 2, 3. This is Caleb. Okay, yeah, there's nobody in between them, so TNG. So yeah, the players, it could be Maryland, TNG, and I form like a containment pact against Arco. And that could be very good. I think I'm going to start pitching this to Maryland a bit and see if he's interested. Not that we have to do anything. I hate... This is dick diplomacy for us to like get on 3 sides of him and have a containment pact. The thing is, it's like one thing to have it on paper. It's another thing to do it in practice. I hate these things. I'll probably try to avoid doing it, even though Arco has pissed me off and broken a nap with me before, and which there's some debate about exactly the fine print and the legalese in that, but in my opinion, it was a severe, like a very real nap break. But and he's probably going to win the game. All those things, I still hate, like defensive alliances, which is basically what I'm suggesting. That's what a containment thing would be. Like if he attacks any of us, we go on him. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But maybe a loose one I'm not opposed to at all. Like if it's not a true defensive alliance, but we just say, hey, like let's look out for each other, and at least at a minimum never cooperate with him. That I like the idea of. I mean, it can also be as simple as we just end our naps with him if he ends their nap with us. We don't even have to attack him. But I don't know. Those things are dick. And I feel like a lot of times they come back to bite you when you do that. So I don't know. I'm probably going to try to avoid it, but we probably want to have some kind of very, very loose federation against him. That's my idea of what would be kind of good. So we'll see. Anyway, that's about it. So see you guys next time. Cheers.